Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Caroline Woods, live from the New York Stock Exchange to discuss the energy market. I'm joined by David Holt, president of the Consumer Energy Alliance. David, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, good afternoon.
So just quickly, fill us in on what it is you do at the Consumer Energy Alliance.
Consumer Energy Alliance is really a consumer advocate that advocates for really the rest of the economy and what energy means to farmers and manufacturers and truck drivers and the airline industry and retirees. So it's really made up of every sector of the U.S. economy, folks that want to have reliable, affordable, and clean energy. So it brings all these kind of disparate groups together to lobby and to advocate at the local level, state level, and Washington, D.C. for sensible energy policies.
Well, David, I know my ChatGPT searches take a whole lot more power and energy now than my previous Google searches used to do. So talk to us about how AI has changed your business the past few years.
Oh, it's changing, and it's just going to accelerate. I think we cannot look at AI without thinking about energy. AI is powered by energy. You just mentioned your ChatGPT or your Google search. So today, about every Google search uses about 1 unit of energy. For comparison, a ChatGPT or a Google with AI uses 10 units of energy. So it's 10x. So, the United States, China, other nations are embarked on the AI revolution. The United States really needs to win the AI revolution. And in order to do that, we're going to really have to ramp up our electricity and our power. And that really means what's called dispatchable or baseload power, which is always available power like natural gas. And then on the horizon, new nuclear facilities, advanced nuclear. So intermittent power, wind and solar has its place, but we really need to make sure we have this reliable, always available baseload power. And that means adding more gigawatts of natural gas, adding new natural gas power plants, expanding current natural gas power plants to make sure we have the power we need to power AI.
Do you think we're on the right track on that front? Because we keep hearing about this systemic shock to the electrical grid. What happens if we're not prepared for it?
Well, the good news is state legislatures and Washington are talking about it, and there's been a lot of movement at the state level to really try to get ahead of this. The more difficult thing is we're going to need 12% more electricity power just in the next 3 or 4 years, and as much as 50% more electricity by 2040. So that's a big systemic change, as you will, as you're saying. So we need to accelerate this. We need to make sure that natural gas power plants that were scheduled to go offline are allowed to stay online and even expand those. We have to build a lot more natural gas power plants. We have to really move forward on advanced nuclear technology and small modular reactors. All these things have to happen in real time. The AI industry is really doing their part to look at ways that they can have their own power plants kind of off grid or grid adjacent so they can power their data centers as well. So there's a lot of movement in this space, but we need more of it, and we need some more leadership out of Washington to cut out the red tape and make sure we're building these things fast enough.
Yeah, there's what needs to happen on the policy front, but what do businesses need to do to really mitigate risk, or at least think about that?
Well, I think from the AI perspective, there's a lot of discussion about, okay, what do we need to do to develop an SMR, a small modular reactor, for our data center area here in, say, West Texas or in Western Virginia. So there's businesses that are looking at, okay, I need this data center to power AI. The country needs the data center. So can we develop quickly our own little mini power plant? States and grid managers around the country are also having those same discussions to make sure that not only we have the power, but we also have the transmission lines, or we have the pipelines for natural gas. So all these things have to happen kind of in concert. And one of the biggest dilemmas or obstacles we've had to overcome is permitting. And federal permitting and permits that need interstate permits to travel from one state to the other. So all those things have to be streamlined. We have to kind of get governments out of the way to make sure that we're doing this fast enough in a safe, but also affordable and reliable way. And the other thing, we can't forget about homes and businesses and folks that want to have electricity for those warm summer days or those cold winter nights. we can't risk increased blackouts or brownouts while all this is occurring.
Well, as you think about advocating for consumers, at least you're not up against really high oil and gas prices, at least not right now. So is that sort of the expectation? Has your priority really shifted away from that and onto some of these other things?
I think if you look at it, and one of the first things the Trump administration did on day one is they declared an energy emergency. And part of that energy emergency was to immediately bring down inflation. If you think about energy costs, electricity, gasoline, diesel alone, every single thing we buy in the store is delivered by diesel truck. So when diesel prices are higher, the price of every commodity is higher. So let's reduce the price of gasoline, diesel, electricity, get inflation a little bit under control. The second thing I think that the energy declaration did is it really puts things on a fast track for this AI energy reliability issue that we have and that is looming even larger in the next few years. So how does the federal government help states, help industry get ahead of this? Again, removing the red tape, accelerating the pace of permits, all those things need to happen. So it was very encouraging to see that emergency declaration right at the outset of this administration, because I think it recognizes both the inflationary pressure that we've been seeing over the last several years, but also the revolution that's occurring in AI and how the United States need to win that revolution.
Okay, David, I'm getting the wrap signal, so I have to make this quick, or we have to make this quick, but I'm just curious. Obviously, we talk about oil prices being lower. There was a lot of talk about natural gas, though, when you were talking about being ready for, to really power AI. How should we be thinking about natural gas prices, which are, 29% off the 52-week highs right now, if it's going to be a big part of powering, really, AI?
Well, I think generally from this standpoint, you look at it, more markets mean more price stability. So now that LNG exports are really happening again, that's a good thing because that adds to market stability. More natural gas to power this AI revolution also means more markets for natural gas, more price stability. So I think we're going to have expanded markets for natural gas, a lot of opportunities for natural gas going forward.
Okay. Thanks for keeping that quick and concise. Really appreciate your insights. David Holt, Consumer Energy Alliance. Thanks so much.